Welcome to the HTMA Success Practitioner's Corner, a special series in which Susan Cachay highlights the incredible work being done by graduates of the HTMA Success Practitioner Training Program.
Hi everyone, I'm Susan Cachay, founder of HTMA Success, and I'm here today with one of our recent graduates, Jen Quade. Thank you for joining me today, Jen. And I wanted just to go through a few questions with you. And the first one is, how has HTMA informed your approach to wellness?
Thanks for having me. I feel really excited to have just finished because I have been diving into HTMA since I found it about a year and a half ago, and I absolutely can't wait to share it because it's totally changed everything about how I see health. I come from a background as a nurse. I've actually, it's crazy. I'm 43. I've been a nurse for 20 years now on the clock. My first 7 years or so was in the Western medical system. I worked at Children's Hospital in Minneapolis on the float team. I've always had this holistic perspective of life. And so I wanted to see how it all works. And I got burned out. I got burned out in a way that I didn't feel like myself anymore. I was so stressed with that system and what it was asking of me. And luckily at that point, I found holistic nursing. I found complementary and alternative therapies, and I went down that rabbit hole and started receiving care. So I have been aware of holistic healing for a long time, but I don't even know where to begin or continue. I'll say this. I studied Mayan abdominal therapy and I was working one-on-one with women in the city. I was booked out 3 months at a time. I had a very thriving private practice. And then my daughter was born. There was mold in the house where she was born, but I had no concept of mold at this point. She became really sick. I became really sick, really burned out. And we tried everything. We tried functional medicine. We tried Western medicine. We tried all the like all the herbs, all the different binders, the biocidin for killing, fermented foods, everything that I could think of. It was like my full-time job now to try and help my daughter who was having daily hives, wasn't sleeping, so therefore I wasn't sleeping. I was exclusively breastfeeding for 2.5 years because she couldn't eat any other food. Like, if that doesn't burn a person out and deplete a woman, I don't know what would. But essentially, I got to this point where I put her on the carnivore diet because I didn't know what else to do. And truthfully, she did start healing, but every time I would try and introduce something beyond that, she would react. So I prayed about it, and I had been praying about it this whole time, but at one point I was like crying to God, like, what do I need to do to be able to live my life? I felt so stuck in this place of chronic illness and symptom management and just trying to maintain sanity. It's like I heard this idea of when a mom is trying to help her child through chronic illness like that, it's like she's trying to hold her child above the water while she's drowning, and that's exactly how it felt for me. It makes me want to cry now because I'm getting to this place where I saw an ad and someone said, I tried everything to heal, but I didn't heal until I balanced my minerals. And in that moment, that memory of that prayer of like, what do I need to do to live my life came through. And it was almost like God pointing a finger at this, like, that's the way. And so I started exploring it, and I did my first hair test for myself and my daughter. And it was such a amazing mirror. It basically like showed on paper what we were experiencing in our emotions and our bodies, and it was really validating. And within the first 2 weeks of taking the supplements, she started sleeping through the night, which she hadn't done in years. Which I started sleeping through the night. My nervous system, which I knew was in this fight or flight state for years, started to calm down. I began sleeping more, and then I got really curious. I read Dr. X's energy book, which I highly recommend. And one of the things that I noticed in that book was he said way back in the 70s that there were people that would come to him and say, I've tried everything and I can't heal. And inevitably, these people were in four lows, which was the case for my daughter. And so it just every step of the way on this mineral balancing journey, I felt so at home, like I had arrived somehow, like this philosophy worked and it fit, and it's, a year and a half later, it's still working and it's still evolving. And 1 year ago, my daughter was eating only meat and fat. And today she's eating sourdough bread and popcorn like the other kids, and meat and potatoes and veggies and fruits. And there's still so like balancing that we need to do because clearly her body was really injured. But I absolutely trust this with my life, with my family, and I'm so excited to share it with other people.
And that it must have been inspired you to take the HTMA Success Practitioner training.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
I tried to kind of piece it together on my own. Like I found Dr. X energy book, I found Dr. Wilson's big blue textbook, and I like read it like voraciously as if it was a adventure novel. And I found an app online that, you could plug in the hair test and it would tell you all the details, but I still wanted more. And so I loved your program, Susan. For anyone who's considering taking it, it's set up, from my perspective, more like a university program than some random online course. And right away, when I opened it and noticed the materials and the way that it was set up, I felt really held, and I felt like I was standing on the shoulders of giants, I guess you could say. Like there's so much work that's gone into this protocol, this philosophy for decades now, and I get to be one of the lucky ones to receive the clinical expertise from you, Susan, and from your teachers, and that creates a really beautiful stability for me moving forward to be able to share this work.
Thank you. And so where are you at right now? Like, how are you incorporating this into your work and your profession?
Well, so I have my nursing background. I'm technically a board certified holistic nurse. I have so many certifications. I was doing the one-on-one work with women, but then when my daughter got sick, it was like that was it for my full-time job. And I've been so changed by that experience that I can't go back to what I was doing before. And I feel a real call to get the word out. I'm not like a social media kind of person, but I want to teach and I want to share because, again, it's like I think of myself in those years of drowning, and I want to be there for anyone else who's in that kind of position. So moms, women, families. I'm in the process of creating the back end of my coaching practice, as well as online courses for women's health and the mineral balancing work. And so if you see this video, click the link and follow, go to my website and see what I've created and how I might be able to support you, because that's the ultimate, that we, on even like a systemic level, to help people understand how to nourish themselves and their families and their children, so that we can be who we came here to be, to the planet. I mean, I think of things on a really holistic level like that, and I know as a soul that I have a mission, I have work, I have my creativity that I came here for, and if I'm sick and I'm drowning, I can't do it. And so I feel that mineral balancing has given me my life back, so that I actually have the capacity, the energy, the creativity to fulfill my soul mission. Maybe that sounds cheesy to some people, but that feels really true to me. And I also want that for other people, that they feel that capacity and that creativity and that inner strength to be able to do whatever it is that they want to do in their lives. So yeah, that's where my practice is going, is envisioning a podcast and online courses and working with people one-on-one doing this, yeah, helping hold their hands through the protocol.
Wow. I mean, that's just so profound. And it is really interesting, the piece that you brought up about that nourishment. And I also look at mineral nutritional balancing as removing a lot of interference, right?
Mm.
Which again allows us to be more of our authentic selves and just how we're showing up, right? If we're not feeling well, that impacts everything that we're doing. So,
Yeah, for sure. It's like so many years. I want to be who I am, but there's the interference of the sympathetic push, the interference of the fear, and also now learning about all the heavy metals and just like how each mineral and each metal kind of has its own personality, at
mhm.
least in my perspective. And when we have a lot of metals stored, it's like um, yeah, our system is having, gosh, it's the word is an interference that Dr. Eck used. It's not distortion, it was derangement.
Yeah.
It's like the derangement of the energy system. And so how can I support my physiology, my body to have a clear energy system so that I can really shine through, and it's not these like deranged metals shining through my personality instead.
Exactly. Exactly. And thank you so much for joining me today, Jen. And
Mm.
anybody out there listening, if you'd like to get in touch with Jen, her details are down below, as well as information about HTMA Success, the practitioner training program. And just reach out if you have any questions. Thanks. Thanks so much,
I,
Jen.
I highly recommend this training program. It's so supportive, and the other thing, other than like the materials that I really love about it, is monthly lectures with tons of opportunities for asking questions and connecting with the community that you've formed, Susan. So if anyone's looking into it, I would say it's a really good choice.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much, Jen.